My name is Ray Bivens. I'm the director of Delaware State Parks, and we appreciate everyone joining us today for the dedication of Eagle Ridge, a major improvement for accessibility, for access to the great bald eagle exhibit. The otters are certainly doing their part. They're out and about and entertaining everyone today. I just wanted to do a couple brief comments about the Brandywine Zoo. As many of you know, the Brandywine Zoo is an AZA accredited facility, which we're very proud of. It's a 100-plus-year-old zoo right here in the same footprint, and it's a partnership. It's actually many partnerships. The Delaware Zoological Society is a fantastic partner for us that runs everything from the education programs, the concessions, the membership, the advertising. When you drive down the road and you see a billboard or you see something in the newspaper, that's all the work of the Delaware Zoological Society, and we want to give them a big round of applause. Thank you. But that work doesn't stop. One of the board members, you'll hear a little bit later, actually designed what you're standing on today as a volunteer project, which is fantastic. This is a special year for Delaware State Parks. It recognizes it's our 65th anniversary, so it's very cool to have such a large project. I've been here with my family. I've left the stroller at the bottom and come up and around, and it's a lot when you have 15 strollers parked down there, or if you see someone that's in a wheelchair or has mobility problems. This is a major improvement in that. Our involvement in the zoo started in 1998. Delaware State Parks took over management of Wilmington State Parks, which the zoo is one of those properties. And we've had a great partnership with the city as well as the Zoological Society, and our staff here does a fantastic job. Can we give our director, where's Gene Peacock? I know he's around here somewhere. Gene and all of his keeper staff, can we give them a big round of applause? Most of the green shirts, they stand out pretty well back there. In the fall, our state park system was recognized as the National Parks and Recreation Association's gold medal winner. That award is only given away every other year, and we were the first small state park system to win that. I think one of the keys to that, when you total up our acreage and you total up the size of our park system, we're small compared to Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, some of the other states that have won that. But the diversity of our park system with all the different sites, from marinas to the ocean to the urban parks, we're one of only 3 states, I believe, that have any involvement in a zoo in their state. It's a very small group in that. The Brandywine Zoo was certainly one of the things that stood out, but probably the biggest in my mind is the support of our volunteers and the constituents. Delaware State Parks is 65% self-funded from our users, and we see the equivalent of over 70 full-time staff each year in volunteer support, which is a fantastic story. And you don't have to look very far when you come into this zoo. Volunteers do all sorts of different things. From the circle over there, there's programs weekly with reading programs, from our camps to everything else. So it's my pleasure to introduce a great supporter of our state park system. You've probably been on one of the trails that our governor has endorsed and helped make happen, everything from the Gordon's Pond Trail to the new trails coming to White Clay Creek State Park, the improvements to the Greenway if you've been on the new park portion that's been recently paved. But you can see the great progress that we're making across the state. We're in the progress of improving the Lumps Pond Campground right now. You probably walked by the Josephine Fountain that is undergoing a $250,000 restoration. And then we're about to open brand new cabins down at Cape Henlopen State Park. All that would not be possible without the support of the administration. Can we give a big warm welcome to Governor Jack Markell?
Well, thank you, Ray, and I do want to thank Ray for doing a great job in all of our state parks and the whole team. We are very fortunate. I think he's probably got I think my job is the best job in state government, but Ray is probably number 2. It's a terrific job, and we have really wonderful state parks. I want to thank Charles Potter, who you'll be hearing from, State Representative He and Representative Bolden and Representative Brady, as well as Senators McDowell and Marshall, came up with some funding to help make this project happen. So thank you. We've got the President of City Council, Theo Gregory, who is here. Theo, good to be with you. And a terrific member of the City Council, Namdi Chukwuchwa. Is that pretty close? I love Namdi. I mean, Namdi's a great guy and I always have difficulty with his last name. but thank you for being here as well. And you're going to hear from Secretary Small in a couple minutes. I also see Megan McGlinchey and Bill Montgomery back there, who have provided great leadership. Bill in his former role, but Megan in her continuing role. So thank you for all that you do. The last time I was here for a ceremony was when we opened up the red pandas, which were great, and it was nice to walk by them today, and they look very relaxed. I have to say. But Gene sort of took me up through here to describe to me the improvements that would be made, particularly around accessibility. And I want to congratulate the team because they're making all of these improvements, and you guys have done an awesome job. You really have. But with not a whole lot of financial resources. And so I think they've been very creative in figuring out how to make these improvements, and that really speaks a lot to him and to his team, and certainly to Ray and Secretary Small as well. I'm delighted that this is opening up right in time for spring and for the opening of the zoo for this season, and it is awesome to just even walk up here from down below and to run into a lot of kids who are so excited to be here. And this is a great resource. It's one that we always used to enjoy coming to when our kids were young. And to have this sort of right in the middle of Wilmington and so accessible to so many is really terrific. So, I just want to really, most importantly, say thanks to everybody who has made this happen, from the leadership of the zoo, from the Zoological Association, the volunteers, the folks who work here, as well as with the city and state governments. It's a great team effort, and we are so focused on these investments in quality of life, because that's why people want to be in any particular community. We need to make sure we've got good jobs for people to work in, but people want to work in places where they want to live. And so we know that employers have lots of choices, and for that matter, talented people have lots of choices about where they're going to live. And we want to do everything we can so that they've got great amenities right here throughout Delaware, throughout Newcastle County, and certainly here in Wilmington. And I think this zoo is certainly very high on the list. It's a beautiful spot and so accessible to so many. So thank you, everybody, for helping make this happen. And it gives me pleasure to introduce Secretary Small of the Department of Natural Resources. He's got a lot of, the DNREC has a lot of different aspects to it. Some are less fun than others, and I would think that the state parks is one of the more enjoyable parts of what he does. But Dave is really providing great leadership at the Department of Natural Resources, so please join me in welcoming Dave up to the podium. All right, Dave.
Well, thank you again, Governor. And I have to start by just saying that I love the fact that our zoo director is a peacock. It's a great thing, great connection. And I just wanted to say again, to echo the governor's comments and Ray's comments, to Megan and the board of the Zoological Society, to Gene and the staff, to Mike Allen, the director of the Zoological Society, and our friends here from City Council, the Mayor's Office, Representative Potter. It is indeed another example of a great partnership that parks enjoy up and down the state. And I really think it is a testament to the leadership of all of the elected officials who help give us guidance and provide us the resources, along with Ray and all the team at State Parks. Up and down the state, we have thousands and thousands of volunteer hours donated from friends groups and others to do things that we just can't do ourselves, quite frankly. And it's just extraordinary. And it's a great source of pride for me. As I was driving up this morning from Dover, I happened to look up. This time of year, there's a lot of birds moving around, and I happened to see this glint of white on a bird above me, and of course it was a bald eagle. And one of the things that I reflected about just a little was they are no longer an endangered species. So they are, and that's a reflection of the great work that's being done in this country by our agencies and many others and the citizens to help reduce impacts that allow them to thrive. And I thought, this is really extraordinary, because now young people will be able to see birds in the wild from a distance in a way that they probably have never been able to do before, because there are so many of them. And they can come to the zoo now and get an up close and personal view of that same bird. And that hasn't always been the case. And so I think, again, that's just a testament to a lot of great work from a lot of folks. And I wanted to call that, Bob Grove, are you here? So Bob is a member of the board. He donated his engineering services to this project. And I just wanted to say thank you, Bob. That helped, yeah, thank you. That really helped us to keep costs down. It was 2 years ago, about this time, I think, the governor and a number of us were touring and talking about this project. And so it's great to be able to now stand here and see the great work. I mean, it provides, you know, a beautiful platform for viewing and accessibility in a way that this space in the zoo has never had before. Gene was telling me this morning on the way up that their visitation numbers are higher than they've ever been. The programming that the educational folks, Hannah, you're here somewhere, raise your hand. Hannah, you've been here just a short time. You've got about 6,000 folks, I hear, in your programs. Those are just great numbers. And I think Gene's hoping that maybe this year we'll hit that 100,000 attendance mark. And so that, you know, those are great goals to strive for, and it sounds like we're really coming close to achieving that. So again, I just wanted to say thank you. There are, you know, some great amenities here. This place has been here for 111 years. It's hard to imagine 111 years here, providing a source of inspiration, providing a window to places in this world and animals that occupy it that, you know, most of us may never have a chance to see in the wild or get to that place. And it stimulates the imagination, engenders a sense of discovery, I think, among visitors and children, because that, at its core, DNREC is an educational institution. Sure, we are a regulatory body, we manage natural resources, but we can't do it without raising awareness about all of these complex ecosystems that we manage. So you all know this space intimately, and I know you all encourage many users to come out, and I think we're going to continue the momentum and success that all of you have helped build, and we're looking for another successful year. So thank you all, and I would like to bring up Representative Potter, and thanks again for your support, financially and otherwise.
Good morning. On behalf of the House of Representatives, I'd like to just congratulate all the people here at the zoo, and particularly Bill Montgomery, who would run me down and say, hey, Charles, when are you going to do it? He really didn't have to run me down, because as a young person, I would attend the zoo all the time. And the last time I was here, I keep telling him I want to see my monkey house back up again. So, you know, I am an animal lover. I like to see some sugar, put somewhere, sugar and water, so that the hummingbirds, they'll be coming through pretty soon. I get them in my backyard all the time, but this is great that we're going to allow accessibility for all the children, and that's important. Wilmington is a great place to be. I love my city. We love our city. We have a lot of work to do, but we got to do it together to make sure people continue to invest in our city. So congratulations to everyone, and let's keep it moving. Thank you.
I'd like to ask City Council President Theo Gregory to come say a few words.
Good morning. When you're the third or fourth speaker, you have to find a twist to put on what you're going to say, because everybody's already said everything. How many blue hens do we have here? Who all went to UD? Who all went to Delaware State? See, you're in the minority. So look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a blue hen house up on that corner over there. The Fighting Blue Hens. We should have the Fighting Blue Hens, not the Hornets.
Well, the Hornets are going to come anyway.
Okay, the Hornets are going to come anyway. But that's what we should do. But thank you for being in my house and in my neighborhood this morning. Now, what do I mean by that? I live at 401 West 22nd Street. I've lived there since 1979 as a 30-year-old or a 29-year-old, not having a lot of money and trying to find a place to live. My wife and I found a fixer up there on the corner of 22nd and Jefferson Street, and that's where we've been since then. However, when we tried to look at amenities that we would like to have in our neighborhood, having parks was very important to us. And I can tell you, Governor, the strollers being parked down there, our strollers are parked down there because our children and we use this park and we enjoyed this park. We look at our neighborhood schools, that was important to us. Where we shopped was important to us, but this is really a community and a good community. I believe that a community must share its resources and assets. even if you're not into zoos, you still have to be for zoos because you may be into the art. I may be an athlete, but we all have to share. And we have to share in a fair and equitable manner. And I want to thank all of you that you do as paid staff and volunteers in keeping this amenity alive in the city of Wilmington. Thank you very much.
I just went quickly. Councilman Namdi Chakwocha grew up not far from here, went to Warner Elementary, and I was telling the manager earlier that this is where we had science class. So we used to come in from this back way that's closed off now, but this has always been very, very key to my heart. It has always been. I remember when first got this tiger, they brought a tiger, and it was the hum of Warner School, and we couldn't wait to get here. Kids were sneaking down from recess to come over, and it was just great. So it's glad to see it. My children love coming to the zoo. It's a part of our family, of our tradition, and it's a great part of our city. So glad to see this enhancement to our zoo to make it an even better place for years to come. Thank you.
Conveniently enough, I chose to go last because I figured everybody would be thanked, and I could just pick up whoever I think just needed a last little thank you. I just want to thank the governor, Representative Potter, all of our other local officials. Thank you so much for coming. Dave, everybody at DenRec, not only the staff, but the folks from Dover that came up today to be here for the event. There are a few other people I would like to mention. Obviously, we mentioned Bob back there. He did a great job on the architecture side designing this project. Cindy Todd and her team at DenRec's Preservation Planning and Development really got this project going. So once Bob put together the design, so yeah, big round of applause for Cindy and co. Harborstone Construction, they actually came out here and built this project, and it would not have worked if they had not worked so hard. And over the winter time, which is not always the best time to build, but it worked out nonetheless. So thank you guys so much. All our staff, both from the zoo and the society, has gotten a couple rounds of applause already, so we'll just thank them one more time. But I would like to point out, my board of directors is here for the Delaware Zoological Society. I've got many of them here. I'm not going to call everybody out by name because I'll probably miss somebody in the crowd, but I just want to thank them for not only everything they do all year round, but for showing up today and for showing up so many other days to make this and so many of other our projects successes. Just in one last moment, I just want to say that with the support of our state, city, county officials, local businesses, members of the community, we have an incredible opportunity to turn this 111-year-old institution into a shining beacon to attract people to Wilmington and the state of Delaware. I want to thank everybody so much. I think right now we're just going to cut the ribbon and open this up and move on with our day.